All right. Well, welcome everybody to another episode of When a Man Loves a Woman podcast. I know this voice is probably unfamiliar to you because I'm not Trev Gross Sr. I'm not. I am Trev Gross Jr. But I'm a fill-in guest. I'm a fill-in host. So if you would please allow me, give me some grace and space to be myself, because I am not as old as my father, but I believe I have something to add to the conversation. And so I'm grateful to be here with some fine gentlemen. These are some of my favorite people in the world. I got Barry Hatcher with me. I got Karl Marx, where we are really here just to have a conversation concerning manhood, concerning marriage, concerning relationships in a way that's productive, from a kingdom lens, because we recognize that these conversations are necessary, especially when I think about just the birth of this podcast. It started in church, but then through the feedback and everything like that, we recognize, okay, we need another outlet because the people need an outlet for this. Now, as I said, I'm not my dad, so I don't know if we're going to hear scantily clad this week or anything like that. I'm not going to lie to y'all. When I heard scantily clad last week, I said, "Oh man, this is." I usually claim, I like to tell people I'm 30 going on 45, but when I heard scantily clad last week, I said, "You know what? I'm young. I'm because I don't know about y'all. When I heard last week, if you watched it last week, go ahead check it out. It was a very interesting episode. These guys got themselves in trouble. I had to use context clues to figure out what scantily clad means. But that's all right. We got through it. It was a good time and all the things. But here's what I want to do, because we're here for tonight. Now, tonight's topic is an interesting one because we're talking about trust, right? But we're doing it responsibly, of course. But we want to take a really clear angle towards it. So we're really tackling just this main question tonight of why does trust matter so much to a man? Okay, why does trust matter so much to a man? And I mean, I think on the surface we would all agree that men want to feel trusted and everything like that. But I want to hear from my co-hosts. Like, what are you all's thoughts when you just like first reactions when you see this question?
So so this
Barry, you go
topic
first.
is tough for me, right? Because honestly, trust matters to everybody, men, women, children, and even criminals want trust, right? So they can pull their scams off.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everybody wants somebody to believe in them. That's just human nature. But in marriage, for a man, trust is everything, right? And I believe women naturally want to trust their man because trust equals safety. But but I also know that life experiences that cause pain, trauma, betrayal can make it hard to trust. I think we have to understand that. But me personally, when trust is missing, I stop feeling connected to my woman because now it feels like she don't believe in me. And that doubt, it feels like disrespect. Like, why am I second guessing myself every time I talk to you? And and after a while, that affects a man emotionally more than people can even realize. And once trust leaves, peace leaves, and now you're sitting in another room, like we said in a previous episode, and your every response is, I'm good," you know.
Yeah,
So I think it's so important for a woman to have trust in her man, so he can lead the way he needs to.
that's good. That's good. Carl, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. To me, when I think of trust in a relationship, um, I mean, there's really so much that I can really add on to what Barry really just said. Um, it's one thing for when you look at where you stand in that point in the relationship versus how old you are in life. I'm 33, going on 34 years this year. So for me, like I think that I have a decent grasp of my reality that I'm in. Like I'm doing pretty good for myself. So now, me knowing that I want to share my time with another person, and for me to come across somebody and now to start getting questioned, I have no issues with really being questioned. It's more so, what is the root of the questioning? Like, is it questioning to try to understand, or is it questioning because you don't really actually have that trust in me? Or, like, again, like, I can never speak for anybody else. I can only speak for myself. I know the things that I've been through, and we can all share the things that we have been through. But, like, trust is a big thing to not just men, but women. So if you really look at the relationship standpoint, trust is the number one thing between a couple in a relationship, which I believe would probably be number three next to God. Because truthfully, yes, God needs to always be number one in that relationship. The second thing is going to obviously be your significant other. The third thing I believe is going to be trust in that relationship.
That's real. Because listen, man, one of the things that I've just found, right? It's like we we have this false expectation that trust just happens. When the reality is, like,
Yeah.
trust is something that is manufactured in any relationship. Like, you have to
Mm-hmm.
do things that are intentional if you're going to properly build trust, right? Like, I don't just like passively trust someone. Like, there's real conversation. There's a level of vulnerability. There's a level of awareness necessary if we're actually going to have trust with somebody else. And then when you take that same dynamic into marriage, right? So for myself, I'm almost going on 3 years of marriage, where it's like, no, we have to have conversations surrounding, how do you feel trusted? How do I feel trusted? What do I do that causes you to feel questionable? What do you do that makes me wonder? Like, these are conversations that needs to happen, as opposed to what most of us do is, right, we'll try to base our trust off of only observation, as opposed to actually having a conversation about, like, trust, particularly, Carl, like we were saying, like, within the relationship. Because if I'm basing how much I trust you only off of what I see, it's almost like shooting in the dark at that point, right? And then it's
Mm-hmm.
like, you as a man, you're showing up, you're doing all the right things and whatnot, but because there's never been a conversation about trust, you still can be doing all the right things, but then wondering why you're still getting questioned, when it's like, that could have just been a conversation, right? So I think there is a level of understanding that we have to have, and I would even say responsibility that we have to have as men, to actually have this conversation about trust building. Because again, if it's so important to us, why don't we talk about it? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. See,
Yeah.
like, I think,
Um,
sorry, Barry, if I could get in there
that's
real
all right.
quick. So, like, I know one thing that has come up in my relationship would be the building the emotional trust. And for me, it's like, I know that I don't try to be closed off. I don't try to be like stone cold or anything like that. But I know that my everyday happenings, especially in the line of work that I do, like, and I had brought it up to you guys, I think yesterday while we were talking offline. It's like a line that has really stuck with me. Whatever you do, don't let them see you sweat. And especially as a leadership role, like, not talking about relationship, just leadership outside in the world. As a leadership role person, like, you do tend to go under pressure in certain situations, and the last thing you want for anybody to see was, oh, you stressed. Oh, I can push this button right here and know how to get under your skin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's
so
real.
and it's not that, like, I know that there are some men out there that it's like, all right, I'm gonna be closed off, but let's keep it real. No man wants to be closed off to their woman. No man wants to be closed off to their woman. For me personally, I don't intentionally try to be closed off to my woman. um I feel like I do my best to not be closed off, but let's keep it real. Again, I'm about to be 34 this year, and I've been operating that way for a very long time. So, just trying to do the things to correct those habits of being closed off. And one thing that I did bring up in our podcast before was come back to me.
Take your time, dog. Take your time.
We'll come back to it when it comes back to me. But you
Got you.
know, like
But no,
I do want to bring up this question though. For the ladies, you know, if you were an expert at a certain task, how would you feel if you were consistently questioned doing that task? But then also to the men, have you ever been questioned on how or why you did what you did, and how did that leave you feeling?
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's
And I
good.
think
Now,
go ahead, BK.
I'm sorry. So I want to ask that question again, but not yet, because I want to go back to the comment there. It says I find that going and trusting until I find that I go and trust it until you give me a reason not to. Then if you break that trust, you have to fight for your life to regain my trust. Because when you talked about building trust before, I was actually gonna kind of not play devil's advocate, but you meet a girl, you meet a girl, you guys start dating, you have conversations. Yeah, I mean, if you had some tumultuous past, maybe it's hard to trust people just in general, right? But typically, you're trusting this person. Like you guys are building a relationship. You're trusting this person. You're trusting this person. Um, I guess my kind of question is similar to the comment that's being made here is do we typically take a lot of time to build trust, or do we or is or do we go in trusting, and then when that trust is broken, then it comes, who are you, you know what I mean, like because you
Nah,
thought you
see,
were this
listen.
person.
Here's what I think, and I told you I'm here to just shake some stuff up and then get out. No, here's what I think. I think it's not even so much a thing about building trust. I think too many of us, our trust is too fragile. Like
Mm,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like someone just doesn't know that that's a trigger for you, but we hold it against them as if you should know, even though we only met 2 days ago. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's like, yo, your peace is too fragile. The way you trust people is too fragile. Like just because someone doesn't do what you expected doesn't all of a sudden mean off with their head. And it's just like to me that speaks to maturity. Like, and again, I'm not talking about the extreme of when you've had the conversation, which I referenced earlier, right? And somebody said
hmm
like, hey, this is an important thing to me, and then someone does something to violate that trust. But if you go into a situation, relationship, dating, whatever the case is, and they do something you don't like, something that, wait, you said you were going to the store. How come you ended up over there? Like, depending on the situation, that doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, they really had malice behind it and everything like that.
right,
Now,
right,
do you see what
right,
I'm saying? So like,
Mm-hmm.
I think it
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes we go into these situations like carrying baggage with us, but we try to call it discernment, we try to call it wisdom and all this other kind
hmm
of stuff, when really it's like, no, you still got trust issues. Like you still you
yeah,
like no, your
Yeah.
trust is a little fragile. So like
yeah,
you
so
probably need to be single like a little bit.
yeah, so because I say technology has made people trust less, and not because, and I'm not even talking about the aspect of like people doing things negative on social media, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about um, when I was, let's say, a teenager. We didn't have cell phones; they didn't exist. So if I didn't answer your
Ooh.
phone call, if I if I didn't answer your phone call, there was no, you weren't calling me. You had to wait till I got home until I could tell
Mm-hmm.
you what happened during the day. But now since I have a phone, you call me and I don't answer that phone, I purposely wasn't answering your phone, or I was
Perfect
doing
example.
something,
Yep.
or, and I'm not saying that in
Patience
every
is a
occasion. I'm
virtue.
just saying, right. But because that technology exists
Yeah.
now,
Mm-hmm.
the trust component comes in because I didn't do it the way you wanted me to do it. I didn't
Right.
answer when
Right.
exactly when you called. Like you said, you were supposed to be at the store 20 minutes. It's 22 minutes. What were you doing?
Right. And like the reality is like I just stopped to get gas. Like I don't like how did I
Yeah,
all of a sudden
exactly.
you see,
Yeah.
but that's why I think like,
Yeah.
the conversation is necessary. Because like if we don't have the conversation concerning what may be a trigger, what may violate trust, whatever the case is, you go
Yeah.
into a marriage, especially, right? Because that's what we're trying to talk to. Like in the context of marriage, you feel like you walking on eggshells, and the eggshells are actually grenades because you like, I don't know
Yeah.
what could cause you to stop trusting me. And all I did,
Yeah.
I could have went to the store to get you flowers, but because you didn't know
Yeah,
where I
that's
was
true.
for that 20 minutes, all of a sudden,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? So like, I think
Because
Carl, you're
what breaks one person's trust doesn't break another person's trust.
exactly. And I think
That's
that
why you
lends
got to
into
have the
Carl's second question though
conversations.
too, right? About like how for men, it's like you got to know what makes or breaks your trust, right? Like to the questions that Carl posed, because it's like, well, for example, like for myself, I know I have a good work ethic, right? So like I know one of the things, the conversations I had within my marriage was to my wife Joy. I said, hey, like if I ever say I got something, like with, and it has to do with like work, whatever, don't question me on that.
Yeah.
Like when I say I got it, that's not time for 21 questions. That's not time for, well, what about this? Like, cause I said I got it. That's an area that means something to me. Now that may not apply to
Mm,
Barry. That may not apply to Carl. It may
mm,
not apply to other guys.
mm,
But for
Right.
me,
Right.
that's a thing.
mm,
And if I don't
Yeah.
got it, I'm gonna
mm.
say I don't got it. Then we can ask all the questions in the world, and I feel fine. But it's like, so it's like those conversations, right? Because I know if Joy asked me a question about something I said I got, that's gonna make me feel like, so what? You don't trust me? When did
Yeah.
all of a sudden my track record when I say I got you is clean?
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
how did we get here? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so kind of like to the overall episode point where it's like, hey, like trust matters to us, particularly as men, because we got to function in that. It's very difficult when you already got to make stuff happen at the job, make stuff happen, as you're trying to advance your family and everything like that. And then you got to convince your wife you doing a good work as you producing results. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Because I'm
I
taking
plead the
those.
fifth on that one.
He said, man, you can't plead the fifth.
No, I plead the fifth.
What,
No,
plead the
no,
fifth?
because I'm in that right now.
Plead the
So yeah,
fifth?
no, you
Plead the
no,
fifth.
yeah. No, I plead the fifth on that one. Yes, I'm guilty as charged on that one. Yeah,
That is funny.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm taking because like for you that's a trigger to, if you say you got it, don't question me. But I'm taking questioning because in my head, you wouldn't have a problem with her just asking you like questions just for her own.
Yes.
Your problem is interrogation.
Yes. So, and
Oh,
that's
okay.
a good distinction. So let's lean into
Okay.
that for a second. I know we flowing, but let's lean into that for a second, because you're right. I know my wife, and we've had conversations where I know the level of information that she needs to feel comfortable. So it would be irresponsible for me as a leader in my household to know her level of comfort, like the amount of information she needs to feel comfortable with a decision, a move, whatever. Me not provide that level of information, but then still expect her to not ask any questions when I say I got it. Like, and I do believe that's like on me as a man to say, okay, like you. And again, my wife, her personality, she's like an SC on the DISC assessment, so like she needs details.
Uh-huh.
Like I can't
Right.
just
So that's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
So because of that, I just know, okay, when I say I got it, I got to make sure I communicate to her, hey, the details of like, this is what's happening, this is the timeline, this is what I'm about to do, this is what I believe is about to happen.
Yeah.
Then I can confidently say, I got it without there being like questions. But if I don't provide those things, then you're right. I have no right to then be angry when she's like, so how's that supposed to work? So when do you think that's going to happen? Like, because those are just real questions that she needs to feel
Yeah.
secure, right? So, and that's the thing, bro, with this topic, like, I believe we can't have contradiction. I can't know that women want security, but I just want her to blindly trust me while I'm not providing that security. Like, that's crazy.
So I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
Bro, you good.
When because when you say blindly trust, because I do feel like there's certain situations when she might have to blindly trust. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's certain situations where maybe you tried to give the details, maybe you tried to explain, and she just don't get it. But this has to be done.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe in certain, but I don't feel like and in the wholeness of the relationship, that's not what it should be. Like,
Yes,
like
yes, yes. You're right.
like you're a CIA agent, and you
No,
know what
that's
I
a
mean? Like
fact. That's a fact. No,
it can't
you're
be like
totally right,
that.
bro. Because there's definitely some situations where you just gotta say, "Hey, I just need you to roll with me." Like, but that's where, like, kind of at least into our points, right? Where because because we have enough reps at trusting each other, where I know the threshold information she needs to feel secure. She knows what allows me to feel confident in whatever it is I'm doing because I know my own strengths, right? So I know what areas to even ask for trust in. When I say, "Hey, just roll with me," like she's more likely to
Yeah.
just go with it, right? To suspend her need for the information in that situation because we've built up
Mm-hmm.
that trust. That's why I'm saying, like, man, we got to have these conversations in our
Yeah.
marriages, in our relationships concerning, hey, trust building. How does someone build
Hmm.
trust with you? What causes someone to lose trust with you? Like, and be
Hmm.
honest with it. Because I think sometimes, man, we be having these skeptical, perspectives around people because of past situations, and
Yeah.
we still got the residue of that on us, and we wonder why things are rocky in marriage, things are rocky in our relationship when it's like y'all don't trust each other. That's the issue.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
so you build towards more trust, and in that more trust, that's when I think you open the door for there to be more opportunity for us to say, okay, no, I'm gonna blindly trust you, blindly
Hmm.
embrace, right? Because it's like there needs to be a track record of when I can say, hey,
Yeah.
like similar, y'all play
There's
spades.
a pattern of success.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you see, y'all played spades before, right?
Of course. So
Yeah.
So
I
it's
would
like,
beat y'all.
whoa. Let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy now. Let's not get
Pull the
crazy.
deck out.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey,
But
I'm not confident in everything, but I'm confident in that.
it's like, but take that as an example, right? Like if you know you're confident in spades, and when you tell your partner, yo, we going blind seven, like
Yeah.
there's a different level of confidence you're gonna have and trust you're gonna have with the good spades player when they say blind seven versus the I just told you what different levels of trust you're gonna have, right? Because there's a track record. And I think,
I like that analogy. That's good.
for men, is it I don't think there's anything wrong with a man asking for trust, right? But make sure it comes with a track record.
Hmm.
Like, don't just ask for trust and you ain't got no type of receipt or nothing. Because
Yeah.
that's asking for
Yeah.
a lot. You would basically be asking a woman to go against her wiring to trust you, and you have zero receipts.
Mm. Ooh, that's good. So let's get into the 3 reasons why men need to feel trusted.
Go ahead.
I'll take the first point. Trust strengthens a man's confidence within the relationship. Um, it's one thing to be confident, and I think it's safe to say that most men on their day-to-day dealings are confident in themselves. But if a man is not truly confident within their relationship, then how can the partner ever look to the man and know that, you know what, babe, you got that.
Mm.
Like, that's on you. Like, and I'm gonna be, I'm stress free. I got no worries. I know my man got me on lock. So uh trust means more coming from y'all. Like,
Hmm.
if if I know that my girl isn't doubting me for nothing, and by all means, again, I'm not saying that you can't question me, because again, I am confident in who I am as a man. I also understand that yes, there are some places that I do need to build up on. That is me speaking from a place of confidence of knowing that I will not be the same yesterday or today. I know that there is still growth that is happening for tomorrow. So that's where that level of confidence in myself comes. Now, me speaking that way, I would hope that that would build the confidence that I would have within the relationship. Therefore, that leads me to show up more, to be able to speak my emotions more, to be able to, like, hey, like, I don't know, like, you was having a bad day, here's some Popeyes, or I don't know, like Starbucks, whatever it is.
Love
And
that
I
chicken
only
from
said, listen,
Popeyes.
listen,
Okay.
wait. Shameless plug, right? Because I had to
Listen.
stop on my way home, but it's like, but you know what I mean? It's like, again, for the man, again, for the partner, speaking to the ladies, for the man, we need the trust from you. Like it will make that situation, whatever the situation is, flow so much better. And truthfully, this is for both the man and the woman. Wherever you are, just take a pause and really reflect on your trust level for where you are between you and your partner. And what does it look like to bring your trust level to that next level?
That's good, sir.
You know, and truth be told, like, men, listen, yes, we do have to give our women grace. I know
Why?
I could definitely give my I know
No,
why.
ain't no way you just said why.
Oh
Ain't no
man.
way.
Oh
I'm just
man.
joking. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I just want
Bro said why.
to just point it out. That did not come out of my mouth. All right.
What's crazy is you said it with such a straight face of like just straight up defiant. Why?
Just joking.
Why? Oh man. Oh man.
Yes, you need to give our girls grace, man.
Yes.
Ryan. Nah,
Listen,
bro.
I know
That's
that I know that I'm building up on giving my woman grace, but at the same time, it's like we are building from here. It's easy to get caught up in wherever we are in the moment right now. And guess what? It's actually even easier to look back and see what you just been through. But it's like you really have to have blinders on, and it's like, and it's not to say that the past doesn't matter. The past, didn't like it. I'm not discrediting nobody's past, but I want to say that to say, look forward. Don't start feeling stuck on things. And for me, being stuck is a sticky situation for me. Because once I start feeling stuck, then it's like there's no growth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
true. So true. And I think even the second point, right, that we're talking about for just why men need to feel trust is because point number 2, distrust makes a man feel managed. Right? Like, and ladies, this is one of those things that it's important. Let me back up because I said something earlier, right, concerning like men. If you're going to ask for trust, make sure it comes with a track record, right? So if we're not careful as men, we can think being questioned or even just straight up being distrusted. Like we have to make sure, like I'm qualifying this point to like this is speaking to the guys that have track records, like track records of you said you're going to do something, you actually did it. And it's a long-standing track record. Not you did it because she was mad at you. Like guys have a track record of I show up, right? So that with this point, because and Carl, this kind of bleeds in a little bit, transitions us because it's already hard enough to do whatever the thing is, provide, protect, whatever. But it becomes even more annoying when you got to really explain and break down how you're doing it on top of doing it. So it's like it's not even just being managed; it's like you just being micromanaged.
Yeah.
So it's like, I went to work. I gotta tell you every street I went down, how I got there. Like that's, what I'm saying. Like I think it's important for men with this point, kind of with giving our girls grace. Where it's first, you gotta know what areas you are actually asking for trust in. Right? Like easy example is finances. I think everyone here on this show. We're all responsible financially. But I think if we're being objective and honest, our wives are probably better at it. So that's probably not going to be the area.
Wait. Say it again. Say that one more
time.
You heard
what I said. You heard what I said. I said what I said. No. But I'm saying the three of us, we are responsible financially. Like we would not be in the position we are in if we were just completely irresponsible, right? That just wouldn't happen.
Right.
But if we are being objective, our wives are better in this area than we are. So when it comes to matters of finances, like specifically like managing finances, things like that.
Oh, managing. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay.
In the area of managing finances.
Yes.
That's not really the area I'm going to really be like, you need to trust me because that's not like a top strength of mine. Now, if we were to talk in the area of like going out and getting it, oh, then yeah, I need trust in that because this one thing I'm going to go do is go get it. But it's hard for me to go get it
Yes.
if I gotta let you know, break down how I'm gonna go get it, and all that. That's a lot. That's where, again, like that mistrust, that questioning from, we'll say, a negative place becomes like being micromanaged, and that's just not
Yeah.
healthy. Especially just again in the context of marriage and even just serious relationship, because again, we got enough battles to fight, right? So we got to make sure as men we're asking for trust in the right areas, but also at the same time for the ladies, it's giving enough space to just see, right? Like okay, I haven't trusted you in this area before, whether it's in your marriage or newly dating, whatever. So I'm gonna give you enough rope to where I still feel secure, but I'm giving you space to show me what you got. And at that point, as a man, you just got to show up and do it, right? But in general, right, just to the point, we got to know the difference. Well, last thing I'll add, you got to know the difference, and we brought it up a couple times, when our lady is just asking us a question versus our lady is literally just not trusting us. Because we got to be okay
Yeah.
with, okay, I'm just being asked a question. Like I don't need to treat it. But that's what I was saying earlier about like your trust can't be fragile. Like it can't be like you can't. No one can ask you a question like at all.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not even. It gets to a point where that's not even responsible. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
go ahead, BK. What you
I
gonna say?
think so. On that, before I get to my point, I think too. For me, it's the tone.
Talk on it. That's good.
Because if you're just saying, "Hey, how does that work? Hey, why are you doing that? Hey, da da da," da," rather than, "Why would you do that? What are you doing that for? Does that make sense?" It's the tone when you're like, "You're questioning me right now. You're trying to find wrong in what I'm doing rather than get an understanding of what I'm doing."
Yeah.
Because I think that's important. Because, like you said, your wife needs the details. My wife needs details too. Um, when you're getting the details for understanding, I think the outcome is better rather than you just, because now I don't want to tell you.
Word,
Like,
because it becomes a competition, right? It becomes like, you know what? Nah, now I
yeah,
gotta prove it to you, like I gotta prove it to the world.
right. I don't want to talk about this no more. Like, I'm just going to go do it.
Real
And
talk.
if it works out or if it fails, however it falls, that's how it's going to fall.
Real talk.
But so I'll get into my point. My point is that trust helps a man lead from a place of peace. And I believe that when a man knows his woman trusts him, he doesn't feel like he got to spend all day defending himself, like we're talking about, over every little thing. He appreciates, and I know I appreciate, when every thought isn't turned into an interrogation and every decision isn't turned into an argument, right? That trust, it gives room to breathe and to think straight. It gives room to stay focused, right? Like, it's really important that we stay focused, because when we're not focused and we're distracted, we don't get things done. And I think as men, it's kind of in us to want to get things done and make things happen, so that we can elevate us and so that we can elevate our families, right? So we don't want to constantly feel some type of pressure in our own home, right? And I'm telling you, when women trust us, we move different, and we're more freer and creative in our decisions, right? Like for our family, and we're willing to share our
Definitely.
thoughts, because when we don't feel trusted, like I said before, we don't want to share nothing with you, because we already feel like it's going to be like we're going to get questioned. You're going to doubt it.
Facts.
That's just frustrating. Like, you might have been sitting there constructing this whole plan for like a half a year, and then now you come to share it, and then it's like,
Nah, man.
what is that?
That's
What are you
ridiculous.
doing? And so now you don't even feel safe to share things that you're trying to do to actually improve life for your family.
Yeah. Bro, if I can jump in too, right? Like everything that you're describing speaks to like what kind of teammate are you? Like,
Yes,
because
exactly.
in a marriage, in a relationship, like we are teammates. Like we are
Yes,
together trying to accomplish a unified goal. We're not like
yes,
two
Mhm.
competitors that are just like trying to outdo each other and all, because I think that's kind of what you're speaking to, if I'm understanding you properly.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're a good teammate, like even if, let's say, I'm in the lab cooking up, making a whole master plan and everything like that, and let's say it's trash, you're not going to just say that's trash. If you're a teammate, you're going to say, all right, now let's kind of figure this out. Like let's try the fat on this, make this tweak. What do you think about that? Like, because it's an attitude of a teammate versus me versus you, and like just give it to me.
Because when I'm giving you the details, maybe there is something that, like you said, it could be tweaked, something that I'm a little off about, that you could say, hey, how about try this?
That's good.
There's no problem with that. The problem is, when it's just like, man, you just you didn't like that one thing, so you said the whole thing is trash. Like,
nitpick.
I'm not coming to you again. Yeah, like I'm over this. Like, and I don't think it's effective. And I don't think things get done. Because if you two are always battling in that way, things that need to get done don't get done.
Right.
When you're and they don't get done well. And yeah, we're talking about men being trusted, but if you're not trusting each other, nothing gets done.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly doubting every decision each of you make, and so you just stay stuck. And what'd you say, Carl? And you're in a sticky place.
Like I said,
like,
listen, man. Nah, man. I'm gonna have to go take a shower after that one. Ew.
Yeah.
Nah.
So everything stays stagnant.
Mm-hmm. And nobody moves at that point. Yeah.
No.
So now, what do you feel? What do we feel that the men need to hear from this conversation?
Man, I think for me, we've kind of touched on it, but I think it's having the conversation about what building trust for you looks like. Like in your relationship. Again, if you're in a serious relationship, not like I like you, you like me, like a serious relationship in your marriage. Listen, y'all know some of these people, they just together and they ain't got no business together. They just like, oh, I liked how you look. Whatever.
I'm just laughing because, I mean, I've said it before, but in the serious relationships, there's a lot of moments where I don't like you and you don't like me.
And that's real. But there's a deeper bond there. So it's
yeah, exactly.
So that's real. So, but to me, it's Carl, to your question, right? It's like, hey, have I communicated what matters to me in the areas of trust? Because if I haven't, then I can't have that expectation, right? If I haven't communicated, hey, when I do this, I'd like for you to trust me. Hey, this area specifically means something to me because I really pride myself in this. So like, trust me in it, right? Like, if you haven't had that conversation, you're just gonna be observing, and you're never gonna find. So to me, it's have the conversation, right, about what building trust looks like for you. But then even have a conversation about when you may feel distrusted. Because to your Grace point, right, a lot of times your wife may not even know. So she may not even know. So you can be misinterpreting, and we said it, right? Misinterpreting the question when I really just want clarification. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not against you. I'm just like, hey, like, so walk me through that part, just so I understand. I'm not trying to change what you're doing, right? But if we don't view that well, then it's all for naught. So for me, that's what I want men to take away from this. It's like, hey, have a desire for the trust. Like, you should want to be trusted, but make sure you have the conversation. And then lastly, some of y'all jokers don't deserve no trust. Some men don't deserve no trust.
I'm sure you're gonna get a lot of hand claps from women on that one.
Again,
it's a fact. It's a fact, though.
If we're being objective, not everyone just deserves trust. So like, you got to have some
right.
You got to have some receipts. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I believe every man has every right to want trust, but make sure you're doing things that are trustworthy.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, you don't just get trust just because you're a man. We know that. But it just needs to be said.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know. What do you think? What say you?
Yeah, Trev, you definitely touched on my point. My point was, yes, every man desires to be trusted. However, don't expect that blind trust without first building the trust.
That's good.
Definitely.
Let me ask you this, Carl. What does that look like? What does that look like? Be specific. Like, so in your
Building the
experience,
trust.
yeah.
So, truthfully, I think it's safe to say that there are so many different levels of trust, because now you've got trust in, actually being there for me. You got trust financially. You've got trust emotionally. Like I said, I need to work on that part more. You got trust in the actual family setting. You got trust in the home setting, and I just happen to be in that space in the middle of all of that, because again, I'm engaged and, getting married this coming March. And, it's like we're building that to get to that point of marriage. But then it's one thing that I like that I don't want to say that I'm struggling with, but more so like I am preparing myself to look past the wedding, because it's easy to be focused on the wedding, but it's like, okay, the wedding is just step one, because guess what, there's another day after the wedding. Like, now you guys are married, now it's day 1, day 2, day 3, so for me, building that trust is showing up, is you're there, is I'm not backing down, like, you are my woman, like, I am your man, like, at least for me, I am just that what's the word, I am that dedicated, I am that committed, that when I say I'm going to do something, like you Trev, like, don't second guess me, and as a matter of fact, put me to the test, like, yes, put me to it, let me prove you wrong, because
Hey,
listen,
Carl.
if
Carl, do you
yeah.
say it like that though? Do you say it like, don't second guess me? Do you say it like that?
Of course, I don't say it like that,
Yeah, okay. I
because it's
just
like,
wanted to see.
again, because again, because again, it's like, who wants to like I'm not trying to rile my lady up like that, like, because I already know where it can go, but at the same
Yes.
time, it's like, and we've even had this conversation with Pastor. It's like, again, who wants to be in conflict with their woman all the time? Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to be in conflict with their partner, and if you do want to be in conflict, then that's just toxic, and no, Barry, we ain't talking about what you may have liked in past relationships.
Yeah, I heard
but it's
that.
like,
You free for that, bro. Hold on. Yeah.
hold on to guys and change your head, huh?
How did we get there?
But I listened and I said, wait a minute, he's different. he's very different.
But again, just to get back to it, building trust, it's a day to day habit. It's the understanding that, we are not where we look at where we are, and we are either in one or two feelings. Either we are where we want to be right now, or we don't want to be here. And we have to come to that understanding of, where are we? Because if I feel like, things are going good right now, but then my partner feels like things are horrible right now, we are not aligned. So therefore, it's trying to get that line back together. Like, so now the part that I'm working on is bringing that line of understanding, not just on my side, but also on her side. And I know I've never shared it on the podcast or anything, but I know, like, I've shared it with my lady. I tend to approach relationships to tell them, like, listen, I'm good with words, but I'm not good with words. Like, I can sit and think and be meticulous about.
Hold up.
I'm breaking it down right now. Yes, I'm breaking it down right now. Yes. So as much as I'm a processor, I'm a thinker, and I'm gonna think things through, and I'm gonna gather my thoughts on a situation and tell you what I may think, what may come to me. But in that moment, like, if I'm like, I don't want to say if I'm under pressure, but like for instance, in a relationship standpoint, where I have to, like, put my emotions out there, because again, growing up as Black men in America, we were not told or taught, it's okay to cry. It's okay to share your emotions, your feelings. You fall down, listen, dust that off. Just brush your shoulders off. Like, get back up. Don't let that tear fall. So it's like, for me, doing that for most of my life, yes, you're gonna end up going into a relationship where if something actually did hurt your feelings, I'm good.
Gotcha.
Like that ain't nothing. Yeah, no, I've seen worse. Like, yeah, I've been through worse. Like, yeah. So a lot of men operate like that, and once you actually do have a good woman in that case, where it's like, it's okay for you to actually share how you feel. Again, for me and my standpoint, it's more so like how I actually just did it right there. Like, my shoulders is up right now. I'm talking whatever it is, but then at some point in time in a relationship, your shoulders are gonna drop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now it's
Yeah.
like, all right, I don't have no defenses. Now I don't have to worry about what is gonna come out my mouth and how are you gonna actually take what was said.
That's
You
good.
know,
That's
and
good.
and that's where I say, like, I'm good with words that I know, with if I put the thought behind it, that I know what I'm saying. But now once my emotions get into it, I don't know where it's gonna go.
Yeah, I'm glad you broke that down, man, God. I ain't gonna lie. When you first said it, I said, "Now I feel like what he just said was profound." But I need him to break that down. But Barry, go ahead, share your thought, and then tell the ladies what they need to hear from this.
So you want me to do the ladies or the
Do
men?
whatever one you want, bro. It's your show.
So because I think I have a so for the men, I'll make it brief. I, when we talked about grace earlier, so I think we have to have grace with women that some women have never seen what the example of submission is. So, and I'm linking submission to the trust because I think some women don't necessarily struggle trusting you personally, right? So I think sometimes it's her past, right? So you're thinking, why is she always on me, right? But really, she's not. She's just reacting to what she's been through, right?
Mm,
So for the men, it's absolutely nothing wrong with you wanting trust because trust is important. We need that in a relationship. But I think the way to build it is consistency. And I love the word consistency because to me, consistency it's 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 what builds the pattern. It's what gives you that record of, you know, I can trust him in these areas. So you have to stay consistent, because I do believe that it's not hey babe, babe, I'm gonna do this for you. No, it's watch me do this, and as you watch me do it consistently, I think naturally trust is just gonna build. Like, but also understand that in certain situations you could have that consistency, right? And because of what is in that woman, you still got to have some grace that she still might not have a level of trust that you want. So you just got to, if you love her, you just got to keep doing.
That's
It
good.
can be frustrating, but you just got to keep doing. So that's something I think men need to hear.
That's good. That's
Um,
good. What about for the ladies? Let's Barry, you start off for the ladies. Let's answer in like a minute or less so we can honor the people's time.
okay. So I just think y'all should know that when you trust your men, he walks different. He has a different energy, a different posture, right? Like like he feels like he's 6'4". And I'm saying that because I wanted to be like 6'4", but God only let me be 5'10". So you know what I'm saying? So it's like
what you
I
mean?
know
You
what I'm
just
talking
above
about.
average. You just above
Listen,
average. What you
but it
mean?
ain't 6'4". You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, you are not 6'4". I can tell you that you're not.
it, exactly. So when the most important person in his life has faith in him, he's capable of doing things that I think you didn't even know that he was capable of.
That's good.
Because it gives him a strength, right? It gives him a power that you can't you can't put a price on it. and I think it just makes the family better.
So true.
If
Carl, what
that
about
makes
you?
sense to y'all.
No, it makes sense. It makes
You might.
sense.
I
It
think
makes sense. You're right.
you might have dropped one of those Thanos gems. What is it? The what's it
What is it?
called?
The
I can't remember
Infinity
what it's
Stone?
called.
The
Yeah,
Infinity
there you go.
Stone?
There you go.
Oh,
You just dropped
Infinity
an
Stone,
Infinity
Infinity
Stone right
Stone.
there. Yeah, you just dropped the Infinity Stone. Ooh.
That's good.
For the women, it is okay for you to question your partner as long as it is from a place of understanding with a goal in mind of unified growth.
That's good. I like it. I would say, to kind of put a bow on this one, is just be a good teammate. Like this
Mm.
is this. I'm saying this to the ladies that are in a serious relationship or in a marriage. Just be a good teammate, whatever that is, right? Because for some teammates, like I remember, there were some guys you just gotta let them fail so they can figure it out themselves and just be there for them when they figure it out. Like, and it's not like
Yes.
a bad thing, but it's just like okay,
No.
that's just the way you're gonna learn, right? So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
or you got to be the teammate that's like, hey, like come with me after practice, let's get up some more shots. I'm gonna support you. Hey,
Hmm.
I'll stay with you as you work on the idea, whatever it is, right? So, for me, is to the ladies, it's just hey, figure out how to be a great teammate in your relationship. If you do that,
Ooh.
that pretty much will handle a lot of this. A lot of
Ooh.
it.
So I just had a thought come to my mind, and I already know, and I know we're coming up on the end, but it's like I can already hear the lady asking you, is like, but I've been by his side for years, and I'm just tired. Like how long is it gonna take
Mm-hmm.
to for him to get that lesson?
See, I think there's multiple versions of that because I think there's a movie on it. It's based on a true story where like a guy was working on like his business idea for like dumb long, something like that, like years, like decades, maybe like a decade
I
and a
could do
half,
bad all by myself or something like that. The Tyler
something like
Perry.
that. But like
Yeah.
Yeah.
she ended up leaving him because she was like, I just can't do this no more. And literally, like
Yep.
the very next week, his idea hit, and he
It
was
blew up.
up, up,
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, like I see that. But that see to me, Carl, that then speaks to well, why are you with him? Like, do you know
Yeah.
the why
Mm-hmm.
you're with him?
Yeah.
Because if you're with him only because he produces, then it's not going to be stable. So it's like
Yeah.
in any healthy relationship, you should want to be with that person when you up and when you
Mm-hmm.
down. Then
It says
that's
for
when it's
better or for worse, but people
so
don't like
right,
the
Yep.
worse.
right in
Yeah.
the vows. So
Yeah.
Yep.
like
In
so,
fact.
some of that I think is just making the decision of like, hey, even though you in the worst, it's up to y'all two to make it better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like just because you're in worse, that doesn't all of a sudden mean you have a reason to exit, right?
Yep.
Um, but I'm certain we listen. I know you fine gentlemen are going to tackle that topic on this podcast, and I just look forward to hearing it because, as I said, y'all know, I said at the very beginning of this show, I'm just here to cause a little bit of trouble. That's it. I hope that I did a good job as a fill-in host.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, no, this was a good time. It was really, really good. But I know we don't have
It
time
it,
to
it,
get.
be- it became that it became that I was the senior in the group now.
Yeah, because you old. You said earlier that you was around growing up. We didn't even have cell phones.
Listen, I had that same thought because now I'm not the youngest person in the group.
Yeah, like no, y'all old. Y'all are old. So y'all figure it out. Glory to God. All this wisdom, all this wisdom. Y'all go forth and share the people what you got. But nah, man, listen
That's
to everyone
hilarious.
that's listening, or if you are even rewatching this, we hope that this conversation provided value to you. We pray that it provided some sort of insight to you as you are navigating your marriage, your relationship, your engagement, whatever it is. Because in all seriousness, if your relationship is going to be successful meaning fulfilling, successful meaning fruitful, right? That's what the Bible tells us that our relationship should be. Trust is necessary. All right. We
Mhm.
understand that trust is a two-way street. And so we recognize that, hey, ladies, you need to trust your man for your man to be who God's called him to be. Men, trust your lady so that she can be all that God needs her to be. And so, trust is a two-way street. And so we wanted to use this conversation, this space, to have the conversation, respectfully have the conversation, um, just with you all in mind in a way that provides value to your life. So with that all being said, I don't know how y'all usually close it out. Do y'all do like a little chant or something, or do we just hop off? Like what y'all do?
Shit.
I don't know. Y'all are different
Nah.
breed up here. I don't know. I'm just
Nah, he
trying
just
to get
usually
everybody
gives a little words of wisdom, you know.
words of wisdom, huh? All right. Well, listen.
Yeah,
Love
you know,
God.
when a man loves a woman, you know.
Yeah, love God first, and everything else will fall into place. Right? Oh no. You know what? I'm gonna do it like the old church. I'm gonna say, holiness is still right.
Oh Lord Jesus.
You want to learn how to?
Oh man.
Holiness is still right. Listen, y'all have a good
Gotta
night.
get the
We love you,
anointed oil.
and we'll see y'all. We'll see y'all in the next.